Conflict has a reputation. It is seen as dangerous, destabilizing, something to avoid, or something to win. Most people learned one of two strategies early in life: avoid conflict at all costs, or dominate conflict at all costs, withdraw or overpower. So when tension arises, the nervous system activates, heart rate increases, thoughts accelerate, tone shifts, and almost immediately, identity enters the room. You're not just disagreeing, you're defending. Conflict becomes heavy when identity fuses to position. It stops being about what is happening. It becomes about who is right, who is respected, who is in control, who is valued. And once those questions surface, clarity disappears. Now you're arguing to preserve self-image. That adds emotional charge. That charge blurs the edges. And blurred edges create mess. Clean conflict feels different. It is not aggressive. It is not passive. It is precise. You state the issue. You define the boundary. You clarify expectations. No unnecessary escalation. No emotional spillover. No identity defense. Just edges. Clear edges protect energy. Think about the difference between these two statements. You always do this. You never listen. Versus, when you interrupted earlier, I felt dismissed. I need you to let me finish. The first blurs into character attack. The second isolates behavior. Clean edges separate issue from identity. That separation reduces chaos. Conflict with blurred edges becomes personal quickly. Past grievances enter. Unrelated frustrations surface. Tone escalates. The original issue gets lost. Now it's a power struggle. Power struggles drain enormous energy, and they rarely resolve anything. Clean conflict isolates the moment. It says, this is the issue. This is the impact. This is the correction. Then it stops. No character assassination. No historical excavation. Just alignment. There is strength in restraint. When ego runs conflict, you try to win. You sharpen your tone. You increase volume. You list evidence. But winning emotionally often costs relational stability. And relational instability creates ongoing friction. Clean conflict aims for resolution, not domination. It preserves dignity on both sides. That dignity protects long-term trust. Many people fear conflict because they fear emotional escalation. But escalation often happens because identity feels threatened. When identity is stable, conflict doesn't need to flare. You can stay calm while being firm. You can hold a boundary without hostility. You can say no without contempt. That steadiness changes dynamics. Let's bring this into work. Imagine a team member consistently missing deadlines. Blurred conflict sounds like, you're unreliable. This is becoming a problem. Clean conflict sounds like, the last 2 deadlines were missed. That affects the timeline. What's happening? One attacks character. The other addresses behavior. Behavior can be corrected. Character attacks invite defense. Defense prolongs conflict. Conflict without clean edges leaks into everything. It lingers. It simmers. It resurfaces in unrelated conversations. That emotional residue drains systems. Clean edges prevent residue. You address the issue fully. You clarify expectation. You move forward. No lingering charge. That clarity restores momentum. There is also something important about timing. Clean conflict doesn't delay unnecessarily. Avoidance builds pressure. Pressure builds resentment. Resentment distorts tone. When tone distorts, clarity weakens. Addressing issues early keeps them small. Small corrections are easier than large confrontations. Momentum thrives in environments where small misalignments are handled quickly. This applies deeply in relationships. Many conflicts are not about the current moment. They are about accumulated unspoken tension. You swallow small irritations to keep peace. Then one minor trigger releases everything. Now the argument isn't about the present. It's about stored energy. Clean edges prevent accumulation. You say what needs to be said when it needs to be said. Calmly, clearly, without delay. That prevents explosion. Conflict with clean edges also protects your self-respect. Avoidance often feels peaceful in the moment, but internally, it creates erosion. You replay what you didn't say. You imagine better responses. You feel smaller. That internal contraction drains energy. Direct but calm correction prevents that erosion. You stand in your boundary, without hostility, without apology. That alignment restores strength. Ego complicates conflict. It wants validation. It wants superiority. It wants to be seen as right. But rightness is not always resolution. You can be technically right and relationally destructive. Clean conflict prioritizes alignment over ego victory. It asks, what restores clarity? What protects forward movement? What preserves respect? Those questions guide tone. Sometimes clean edges require silence, not silent resentment. Measured pause. If emotions spike too high, stepping back prevents damage. I need a moment before continuing. That sentence preserves dignity. It avoids saying something irreversible. Silence used strategically is strength. Silence used to punish is ego. The difference lies in intention. Conflict without identity attachment allows flexibility. You can change your position if new information emerges. You can apologize if you misjudged. You can clarify if misunderstood. Identity-driven conflict resists adjustment because shifting feels like losing. Clean conflict values truth over pride. That flexibility strengthens trust. There is also something powerful about brevity. Long arguments often signal emotional overflow. When edges are clean, statements are shorter. I don't agree. That won't work. That crossed a line. We need a different approach. Direct, concise, stable. Over-explaining often signals insecurity. Clean edges stand without padding. Season 8 is about grounded power. Conflict with clean edges embodies that power. It is firm without aggression, direct without hostility, clear without cruelty. It protects boundaries. It restores alignment. It preserves energy, because energy is not being burned on ego defense. It is being used for resolution. Notice your pattern in conflict. Do you shrink? Do you escalate? Do you avoid? Do you overtalk? None of these are flaws. They are learned survival patterns. But you can shift them. You can practice clarity without intensity. You can practice boundaries without hostility. You can practice correction without contempt. That practice strengthens systems. There is relief in this. You don't have to fear disagreement. You don't have to dominate to be heard. You don't have to suppress to maintain peace. You can stand steady, speak clearly, listen openly, and close the loop cleanly. That is conflict with clean edges. And when conflict becomes clean, something surprising happens. Trust increases because people feel safe in clarity. They know where lines are. They know where expectations stand. Ambiguity breeds anxiety. Clarity reduces it. Reduced anxiety restores energy. And restored energy fuels momentum. You are allowed to disagree, allowed to correct, allowed to say no, allowed to protect what matters. Without anger, without drama, without identity flaring. That is mature strength. That is sustainable power. And that is what Season 8 is building. If this episode helped you rethink how you handle tension, stay with the season. Season 8 is about being fully alive without letting ego run your reactions. And if you know someone who either avoids or explodes in conflict, send this to them. Sometimes strength isn't louder. It's cleaner. We continue in episode 10.